into roll 20 here.
You do. Only one we're missing. And if you want to set your character to your little avatar, you can, or not. Either way, it's okay.
All right, we are live.
We're live.
Make sure everyone's. Oh. Hello. I think. Are we coming back through John?
Oh, I think Nick needs to mute himself in
roll 20.
In roll 20.
I need to change my avatar now.
Mhm.
Are we good? Cool. All righty. I can talk again. Much to everyone's chagrin, I can talk again.
Ooh.
Let's see.
I can't figure out where to change my avatar. Does anybody know where that is?
In the chat box, John, there's like a drop down that says like as.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ah, there you go. Perfect.
Wait, I selected mine. Why did it?
There
I
you
think
are.
you still have your. I think you still have your video. There you go. There you go.
I see.
Nice.
There it is.
Laps Ledgerton.
Collapse Ledgerton.
All right. And the post is now shared on to the Facebook group.
Oh boy.
I need to get a bolo tie and a wizard hat.
That's
What do you say? I need to get a bolo tie and a wizard hat. I know. I need to get I feel like my hat would be the hardest to find, being that it is both a wizard hat and a pirate hat.
have to-
It was like a
if it-
cop out.
You got to find a pirate or a wizard hat. I think you start with the wizard hat and then you modify it into a
Oh.
pirate hat, right?
Wizard hat and a pirate hat.
You know, you pin it up, you maybe cut a notch in it, right? Like it won't be that hard.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna edit the title inside of the post, but it still says Free Journal Fridays. So I'm gonna go ahead and edit that. Yeah. Forgot to change the name of the live stream.
Whoops.
That's why we start a couple minutes early, because then we can get all this stuff figured out. Nick, can you go on Facebook? I mean, on YouTube and change the title to IMA Roleplay session number 3.
Hi, everyone watching us do technical things.
I
Thanks for
don't
tuning
think I have
in.
anything else to give away today.
We have entertainment to give away, imagination adventures for you to take with us. That's our gift to you today, and everyone
exactly.
wins.
Not on Facebook or YouTube. The title I just sent you, just change it to 3.
Yeah, this description's wrong on multiple counts.
Oh yeah. The problem is I can't find it on our Facebook page. It's not popping up for us.
I see it.
Well, it's live in our
Here's journal.
oh, there we go. There it is. It like
Hey.
hid.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
This is just what you all tuned in for. See, the thing is, we're all role playing right now as people who run a journal company and do live streams every week.
So meta.
It is. It is.
All right. It should have changed over on Facebook as well.
Refresh. Make sure.
I
Okay.
didn't feature it quite yet. There we go. Okay. YouTube has been fixed. All right. Got the correct names. Everything's figured out.
The most important thing is done. Good job, everyone. Good job, Kyle.
Thank you. I mean, it's just something I messed up on the front end, but
Yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay. No hard feelings. Everyone's in roll 20. We're all ready to go. Are you ready to go? Ready to be transported to a world of magic and fun? All
Super
right.
ready.
All right. Well, we need to recap what happened last week in case you didn't watch it. So, last time on Astoria Magic Academy, down in the miscellany market, the kids calmed the crazed colossal catastrophe-causing clangor in Colette the Cauldron with courageous cooperation. As thanks, Carl the Cauldron salesman reluctantly agreed to help our heroes on their quest to create an antidote for Tortamillion's mousy condition. The only missing ingredient, of course, the eggshell of a mocking worm. So after our magical trickery to get on the gondola and a quick check-in with Professor Ooze, the students are on their way to the Mystic Thicket to find what they need. The great Prismane's performance will begin in a matter of hours, and everyone's expecting the headmaster to be present. Will our heroes make the potion in time? Will they discover who or what has been running amok and causing mischief in the school? Find out this week on Astoria Magic Academy. Rin.
That alliteration was insane.
That was wild.
I was pretty proud of myself. Thank you. So just to recap it in a way that's not insane sounding. The students now are heading to the Mystic Thicket to look for specifically a feathered serpent nest in the hopes of finding a mocking worm egg inside. Before you go out to the woods, you have anything you need to grab or do.
Do I need to get a refill on some ingredients for my potions, or do I assume that in our?
I assume anytime that you're not on the scene, Trash Brood, I imagine you're stuffing your pockets with stuff. So I think you're fine. Yeah, you have, it's like reloading. In video games, take your gun off screen, pull back up. Right, it's you, but with your pockets full of ingredients and powders and animal bits. So yeah, you're good.
Am I still carrying Colette around everywhere, or did we?
You dropped Colette.
Colette off in the.
You dropped Colette off in the potions lab.
Okay.
With the clinger still trapped inside it, with that heavy lid you put on it. And Professor Ooze is going to take care of it. He's going to sort that out while you guys get the last ingredient.
Good. I just want to make sure I didn't need to make a pit stop to cauldron anywhere.
Right. You did already, so you should be good to go.
Did that count as a full rest? Like, do we have our full health and stuff?
A full rest?
Or
No, you
are
haven't
we
really had
still-
time to sit down yet. You guys have been going. I mean,
Okay.
15-minute gondola ride would be a good chance to get your breath, of course. But you guys, time is of the essence because everyone's
Yes, of
expecting
course.
Sport a Million to appear alongside Prismane the Great. So,
All right, let's get after it then.
all right, into the Mystic Thicket. Let's pull over just to show everyone the map real fast. Mystic Thicket is in the back of the school where the brooms course is. And so you guys would have to make your way through the hallways. Maybe you want to pass through the quad. But right now, the quad, the middle section of the school here, is where Prismane's stage is set up. So it's really busy right now. There's a lot of people coming in, looking for seats, trying to find a good spot to watch from. Some are trying to levitate their chairs a bit to get a little higher up to see it from a distance. But Prismane is backstage preparing his show.
Can we cut through the Everwinter Courtyard? I've been wanting to go there since we got here, but we kind of went. We got launched directly into a quest before I got to go there. So I'd love to walk through there before.
Okay, yeah, you can go through that way.
That's
Might
fine.
take a little longer. Yeah. The Everwinter Courtyard, of course, is this section of the map. It's where it's always snowing due to some magical experiments. And it's always kind of the perfect winter day in this courtyard. It's where Professor Pang, the teacher of evocation, works, hangs out the most because he's a penguin. Maybe you see them as you're passing through the Everwinter Courtyard. You see a penguin off, trying to practice his lightning bolts in the corner. He waves a flipper at you. You hear his penguin voice over the quiet of the snow. It's like, wah, 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 wah. Yeah.
I pick up a snowball and I throw it at Glop, but then it just goes inside of the goop and it just goes out the bottom. It's really
Just-
anticlimactic.
Maybe it kind of melts inside him, disperses.
Yeah.
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 And you feel really cold from the inside, Glop.
I go, come on, man. That's pretty rude where I'm from.
You better dodge it next time.
Professor Peng is shaking their fin. Rah, 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 rah. Just very upset. You guys are throwing snow at each other right now. Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I wanted to have a miniature snowball fight, kind of get the arm loose for when I start throwing potions at the.
Yeah,
Okay.
would Professor Pang know anything about a feathered serpent? Or
You could
about-
definitely ask them about it because they are a professor. So
I'm gonna ask Professor Pang about the nature of a feather serpent and the nature of a gosh, what is it again?
more
egg.
Mocking worm.
A mocking
mocking
worm. Yeah.
Would you? Okay, I think you need to roll for this just so we can see
Okay.
how much information you get out of the professor. I need to upload a picture of Professor Pang as well.
You also have to be a little bit cryptic, right? Because he can't know the nature of our mission.
Right.
So why don't you roll with your charisma as you are using your conversation skills here? All right. Yes, you can get information. He'll give you the information you're asking for with no questions asked.
Great.
Yep. So what would you like? What are you going to ask the Professor Pang?
Howdy, Professor Pang. Glop Sludgerton, first year here. Had a quick question for you. I'm a really big fan of your work, so I don't want to take too much time off your hands. But I've heard some interesting creatures live out in the Mystic Thicket. Is that true?
And they're kind of sound surprised at the question. Well, yeah, yes, of course. There's lots of all kinds of dangerous things in that woods. I don't know why they let you kids go out there on your brooms. It seems highly irregular, but
I'm glad you said that. I was worried there was dangerous creatures out there. Is there any that we should particularly keep an eye out for? I mean, especially as we're flying our brooms through the air, is there any birds or any flying things we should be aware of?
you've all heard about the Flying Serpent, of course. It's been plaguing these woods for years.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was a myth. I thought that wasn't even a real thing.
Well, I've seen it. A lot of our professors have seen it. I even heard there was that kid in the first year last year who went into its nest on accident. My goodness.
And what happened to to
Sid.
that first year?
Well, they let's just say they had a talking to with the professor of brooms over there, Coach Bina Beff, of course. It was a bit of a. I don't try to get my beak in this stuff, right? But
I understand that.
they're
Professor.
extremely territorial. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Extremely territorial.
I gotcha. All
If
right.
you go in their nest, they will stop at nothing to protect their babies.
Was his charisma strong enough that I can ask a question, or can he only ask the question?
You can always
Um,
talk to Professor Pang here.
if we were to be getting ready for our brooms class, which is why we're asking the question, and we were to come across a feathered serpent, what are some ways to pacify them or to kind of calm their anger, if you will?
I've heard they're very distracted by flashing lights or like reflective objects, things like that. But I mean, I still would maybe. You're all in my evocation class. You've been practicing your fireballs, right?
Oh yeah, a whole bunch.
I'm more of a fire potions guy myself.
Either way, it doesn't like being set on fire. That's a hint for you.
Interesting.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, Professor Pang, thank you so much. Appreciate you, and can't wait to see you in class.
Yeah, stay safe out there on those brooms. Remember, don't fall
And
off it.
when Professor Pang looks away, and I wind up a snowball, and I just toss it right at Professor Pang.
Without even as he turns around, but his fin just goes back, and it gets blasted out of the sky with a lightning bolt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a sub, like a minor side quest where I want to hit Professor Pang with a snowball because I know that he has the best peripheral vision at the school.
Somehow he always senses it coming. And he turns around slowly, his beak facing you, and his shakes, waggles the end of his flipper at you.
I'll get you one day, Professor Pang.
You merely adopted the snow. He was born in it. All right.
All right. Let's make our way out to the back to the
brooms
to
course.
the feathered serpent.
Yes. Of course, to get to where the thickest part of the forest is, was of course be on the broom course. And there are other students going to brooms class right now. they're kind of anxious for the class to be over so they can get over to the Prismane show. But they're all talking excitedly. They're all first years like you guys. They don't have their own brooms, so they use the ones that Professor Beanabeth has on hand. So, do you follow them to the brooms course?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that we blend in.
Okay.
Kind of follow them
For sure. Let's go over to the brooms course.
as much as we can.
Yes, indeed. So everyone heads up to the high platform where Professor Beanabeth, she is a pixie professor. She is rather small, stands on her broom, but it's always moving around. It's always bipping and bopping. She's got a lot of energy, a lot of chutzpah, and she's very popular as a professor. She's kind of on the younger side and kind of cool. She's gather around, class. Come on, everybody. Gather around. I see you decided to join us, Glop. Trash breed is
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, but I've been working on my flying a little bit, so I thought I'd put it to the test.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Great. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, Professor. I mean, you know us oozes. We're a little maybe not the most talented broom flyers in the school, but I'm gonna give it my best shot.
And I respect that, Glop, because it, not to besmirch your species, but usually liquids have a harder time staying on a broom. So I'm really impressed you're out here in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. They always say, you try to fly on a broom as an ooze, you're gonna fall like rain. That's what they say back home where I'm from.
Yeah, well, a lot of the rules of brooms aren't going to apply to you as well. So that's kind of lucky.
I'm just gonna do my ooze thing here.
Students, you remember the rule of brooms, right? What's the first rule of brooms?
Stay on the broom.
Don't fall off the broom.
That's, of course, number one. Don't fall off the broom. You two have been studying. That's great. What's
Man,
rule
you guys
number
are
two?
Be the broom.
You're not far off. The second rule is also don't fall off the broom. You just don't want to fall off it, everyone. That's easy, right?
Man, you're some teacher. Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, I'm just trying to I'm just trying to tell it like it is. Say, as you always say, you lose your broom, you're going to go boom. Remember, all right? Go with the breeze, steer with your knees. Easy.
I love that.
Man, I love a good rhyme. That's
hit
really
a
great.
tree, lose some teeth.
Ooh.
More of a soft rhyme on that.
Not my best work, that's for sure.
That's great.
Bob should be playing
I
the
love it.
harmonica as you go on your rhymes. Just make a song.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
It's not
Especially
ready
save
yet.
for a special moment.
I'm working on
Anyway,
songs
I can
already.
tell you're all anxious to be done with class. So let's do the beginner's course. Remember, don't go past the blue rings. And I'll meet you back here in a few minutes. All right, let's see how you do.
Professor, one second. Why can't we go past the blue rings over there?
Everyone knows blue is for beginners.
All
But
right.
what happens outside of the blue?
Well, there's just a bunch of forest out there. You don't want to run into something you don't want to run into. Now, part of broom's. I'm not grading you based on your survival instincts.
On our way over here, we were walking through the courtyard, and Professor Payne told us about the Feathered Serpent. Is that a real thing?
And she kind of narrows her eyes, kind of gets kind of a grumpy look on her face. That professor always trying to spook me students. The Feathered Serpent does exist, students. I will not lie to you. But it is very docile if you don't mess with it. If you go into its lair, it'll give you a right thrashing. But the blue course goes nowhere near its marked territory. So you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, totally makes sense. And I can see why Professor Pang would have a little bit of animosity towards you, as he is a flightless bird. And it seems like you are the flying instructor here at IMA. So anyway, we'll definitely stay within the rings to the best of our ability.
Remember, even going outside the lines is okay, but make your way back to it eventually, right? We all make it back to the start.
I love that.
Yeah.
So wholesome.
All right, students, on your brooms. First one done with the brooms, get to go back to your rooms or to Prismane Show, whatever you're into these days. All right, everyone. Have fun. Be safe. I'll be around checking on your form while you're flying.
I mount my broom and I just take off.
Last.
Just off. I say, see you later, suckers.
Yeah, so Stump's a little anxious because he's actually not great at broom flying. It's one of the things that he needs to work on. Twig's always making fun of him for not being great at it and so forth. So he wants to just try to get it over with as quick as he can. He's like, let's go, guys, let's get this course over with. And he hops onto his broom and he glides over like the side of the deck and just kind of starts gliding straight down to the ground until he gets down to like fairly well below where like ring level would be when you're flying through the rings. And he just starts gliding just like along the ground because he's so heavy. You just see this big buff giraffe kind of weighing down this small broom, and he's just coasting through the course really slowly, but under where the rings are. And he tries to keep up with Trash Brood, but seems like Trash Brood's a lot faster, probably takes off a lot quicker than Stump can. And Stump's just like, hey, wait up.
I'm doing tricks. I look back and I do a little barrel roll and I do a little backflip because I'm a very small creature. So
I try to make like a bird flapping motion to Trash Brood to remind him of the mission of what we're looking for, since he's clearly the best broom flyer in our party here. So I'm trying to make like a flappy, like a noise without being seen by the professor.
I will admit I did kind of forget why we were there. I was pretty excited about doing some freestyle broom riding. So I'm quickly getting back to my roots here. Also, where's Carl?
Yes, it's
Carl he dragged him along. Yes, I did. I almost forgot Carl. He is here too. I'll just stay back. Hi, Professor. I'm a little old for this. It's not really my job. Don't be a big stick in the mud now, Carl. I don't know you're good at flying. I haven't been on a broom in years. It's been a long time. Oh, it's just like, listen, like they say, it's like riding a broom. Here you go, you big stuffy. Get out there, have some fun.
Yeah,
right.
what's Glop?
Looks at Glop and Glop.
Glop is a little afraid of the broom. Glop is pretty much anti-broom at this point, and is kind of looking for any excuse to hitch a ride with one of the other flyers. Carl being the only one still on the platform.
Yeah.
Glop turns to Carl and goes, hey man, this is a little embarrassing for me, but I was wondering if you did like any extra beakers on you or any extra glass jars I could perhaps kind of, nuzzle into and hitch a ride on your broom with you. I'm a little afraid of the whole liquids flying through the air.
Now,
Physics.
With Carl, you don't see his face, just like the one big eyeball in darkness, right? But even you can tell he's trying to hold back laughter here. He doesn't want to like embarrass you, but it's how low you're putting yourself. Like, can you put me in a jar for a minute? like,
come on, man. Put me in a jar.
Sorry. I never thought you'd ask me that. Oh, you're funny. Yeah, hang on. Digs around in his robe, goes in the one sleeve. He's pulling all kinds of weird ingredients out of his sleeves, and then he pulls out like a big jar, a big bottle that you don't know how it fit in his robe, but it's here. It's like a big old flask, about like this big around at the bottom, got like a skinny nozzle on the top. It's the biggest one I have on me right now.
Hey, this is actually pretty spacious. I got to applaud your hospitality. I ooze myself into the I take the shape of the glass thing, and
The glass is vial, the jar. Yeah.
I say full speed ahead. Aye, Captain.
All right. First mate jar. This is funny. Okay, you look like a jelly. You look like a jam.
Lieutenant
But that's
Jam reporting for duty.
Oh, that makes me laugh. That does me good. All right, let's go. He kicks off the platform, trailing behind Trash Brood and probably passing Stump, flying slowly and carefully over the ground.
Yeah, Stump's being real slow.
Yeah.
I turned to Carl right as we're taking off and said, "Hey, one more thing, Carl. Could you maybe not tell the other others about this?"
Well, no promises, mate. If they see me flying with a bottle of jelly, I have to explain. I'm not making sandwiches out here, right?
Nah, you're right. All right. Well, maybe just keep me in your robe or something.
Yeah. All right.
I look behind me and I see that everyone's pretty far behind me.
Mhm.
So I go straight up in the air and I do a big loop and then I pull up right next to Carl. So we're flying next to each other and I'm yelling at him really loud because there's a lot of wind and stuff.
Yeah.
And I say, Carl, I need the gunpowder. I need the gunpowder now. I need the gunpowder.
You need the gunpowder.
I have a plan for the Feathered Serpent. I need the gunpowder now though, so I can start working on it.
Oh, you're flying.
I'm a potions expert and I'm pretty good at brooms. What are we worried about here?
Usually it's kind of a mutually exclusive thing. Which one do you do which one do you do at a time, right?
I look at him and I do a handstand on my broom while it's flying. And I say, is that mutually exclusive, Carl?
Hang it down. I don't want to see you break your neck. Fine. Listen, if you'll stop doing gymnastics on your broom.
I go one-handed. I'm like, toss over the gunpowder.
Ah, fine. Hey, catch it though. Digs it around, finds the vial, tosses it to you.
I grab it. And I resume a normal position on a broom.
Don't make me regret that, little guy.
All right.
Yeah. Do you think that Trash Brood would see the jar hanging off of Carl here?
I see it, but I don't think anything of it because he's also a potions expert. So I'm like, I have my ingredients, he has his ingredients. I don't really think anything of it.
And I'm doing a great job of just looking like a jar of jelly.
Jar of jelly.
Doing my best impression.
Now, Stump, you're down by the ground. You want to try to pull up a bit and get with your buddies?
Yeah, I can try to get a little bit of altitude. He's gonna maybe use his magic spell. What's that spell called again? The one that we all started with.
Prestidigitation.
Yes. Use that to try to get a little bit more of a boost and try to catch up with the gang.
Make like a little puff of air or something. Or
a little tuft of air, just kind of like
wind
pushes me up into the where the rest of the flyers are.
Okay.
Am I gonna have to roll for that?
You are. How are you? Are you casting it forcefully, carefully, tactfully, or?
He's gonna cast it carefully. Stump's trying to be, he's trying to get control of his magic and be a little bit less aggressive in his spell casting. So, as he's flying along, he's gonna slow down on his broom a little bit and just very carefully and quietly try to cast this spell while everyone else is flying up ahead of him.
Perfect. Roll dex for me as you're doing it carefully.
Let's see. And there's a dexterity roll.
Ooh, look at that. Nicely casted. Now you need to roll your magic dice to see just how powerful this gust of air is. It's a really good gust of air. Stump, you're amazing.
Ooh.
You made a little puff of wind. And as you're flying next to Carl, Trash Brood, this big shape comes up between you, like in movies, like a submarine comes up and it's like out of the water. That's what it's like when Stump comes up between you guys, like this big boy on a broom.
Love it.
Yep.
Nice of you to join us.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was just, falling a little bit behind with these big muscles and all. I can't quite help it, but I'm here now. So let's fly on.
We get it. You're a strong guy. We get it.
Kid like you needs two brooms. We look at you. You're a monster in the best way possible.
Carl, that was kind of mean.
I know, but I love a monster. As a monster, I love a monster.
It's true. It's the highest compliment.
Yeah. So now you're trying to
compliment, Carl. I love it. I need 3 brooms.
3, bro. Let's strap them together. Yeah. Put an engine on it. Ooh, now you're cooking. So yeah, you guys are trying to find the nest of the Feathered Serpent. Who do you think would know these woods the best?
Honestly, it'd probably have been Glop, being that he has the highest intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Would Carl know these woods?
Maybe. I mean, he sounds like he kind of implies he did some time at MMA or IMA when he was a younger guy. Yeah, first he was in the Octagon, beating people up. Then he went to magic school. The IMA. He went to IMA at some point, spent some time here, but it was a long time ago. So he would probably refer to someone who knows the lay of the land or has spent time out here before. Recently.
Do you think it's less about who knows the woods? Maybe it's more about who knows what a feathered serpent's den looks like from the outside. Would Carl know that?
Yeah, Carl would know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna. You don't have to roll anything to ask him. So,
can I whisper? Can I whisper to Carl? So
you have to do it. You're in your jar right now, so maybe that's.
I don't want anyone to hear me. So I kind of.
Hey, Carl. You wouldn't know what a feathered serpent's nest would look like from the outside, would you?
And Carl turns to Trash Brood and stumps it. Just a sec, my jar is talking. Talking jelly, right? Everyone said talking jelly before. Feathered serpents tend to live in the hollows of trees. If there's a real big tree and it's got a real big hole in it, that's where the feathered serpent's going to sleep. What's the biggest tree around here? Would any of you guys be able to? I mean, maybe just by looking at the horizon, you see that there is a tree that is sticks out a bit. It's taller than the others. It's far out past the blue rings, though.
I think it's that one over there. I think that big one over there.
So,
let's
while you're pointing at the tree, yelling out loud, another person slides up next to you. Bina Beth, she's doing like a nice skater's pose on one leg, you know. Good air today, eh, boys? Real nice out.
Hey, Professor, how are you?
Doing good. Your form's looking good, Trash Brood. You're a little bit sloppy in the fundamentals, but I guess maybe you're not destined for fundamentals. Maybe you're more than that.
I stand up on my board and I stand up on my broom and I jump and then I land back on the broom and I say, I got this thing on lock.
Now be careful. You don't have wings like I do. If you fall, you're just gonna fall.
Raccoons always land on their legs, so their feet. So
I don't know if that's strictly true, mate. But if you say so, all right, more power to you. Stump getting some altitude. Very good, very good. Love to see it.
Can I? Is it like plain to see that she knows that we're kind of up to no good, and she's not just checking in on us, but she's kind of trying to make sure we don't.
You want to try to size her up here?
I want to try to kind of get a vibe for if she knows we're up to no good, or if she's just another day in the classroom for her.
Okay. Use your keen powers of observation and roll int for me.
Ugh.
It's a partial success, so you'll get like kind of a vibe. We'll say this. Since it's a partial, you can confirm how she's feeling, but it's not going to be good for you because she does in fact suspect you guys are up to something. As you've brought along Carl the Cauldron Merchant, talking about feathered serpents, asking why we can't go past the blue rings, very suspicious questions for just a regular day of broom flying. So she's definitely is kind of trying to see what you guys are all up to. You're all flying next to each other. Usually, Trash Brood's out in front racing people, but you're all kind of flying the same speed. You're talking in quiet voices. Yeah, you guys are pretty sus is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. So I am starting to make my plan for how I'm going to internally. I'm thinking about all the way that I'm going to distract the Feathered Serpent. Which means I need a free moment away from the professor. I need to make sure the professor can't see me as I prepare for this epic moment to distract the feathered serpent. So I need someone to make it like a distraction.
Do I take fall damage or anything?
No, I mean, unless you, I mean, you're a slime, you're an ooze. You
Okay.
can just reform, right? Like you're.
Okay.
That's,
I see my moment, and I realize as we're all here with the professor, if I'm able to detach myself or whisper to Carl to just drop me, and preferably slam me into a tree, and the jar would shatter, and I would smash into the tree, and I'd be like, as if I was riding with him and fell off, which I guess is kind of what happened. And I was to act all hurt and stuff.
yeah.
I realized
yeah.
that would pull the attention away from Stump and from Trash Brood to go to the Feathered Serpent nest.
Okay, this is gonna be kind of a quiet thing. You're trying to be sneaky about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I kind of whisper to I whisper to Carl as quietly as I can, kind of like Gimli talking to Aragorn. And,
Yeah. Got to toss me, right?
Yeah. I'm still a little embarrassed. So I go,
You're gonna have to drop me, Carl. And
Drop.
aim for a tree.
Drop you. And he's trying to whisper. Maybe Bina kind of looks over at you at Carl, just kind of like, trying to talk to his jelly here. So you have to roll something for this. What I'm trying to say.
okay.
So why don't you roll charisma for me? Social thing.
All right.
Okay.
An
So
8.
what happens is, all right. So is your plan to drop to like the crash of the glass to be the distraction, or are you going to be the distraction?
Both. Yeah. I want to fall from the broom, smash into a tree, and just kind of like slide down the tree as like a bunch of like ooze and kind of be like, ow, 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 and then I know in the back of my head that Professor's going to be mad at me because I actually wasn't flying my own broom. And so I'm kind of hoping that I can squeeze as much distraction time out of that interaction as possible.
Okay, so that's what this roll was for.
Yeah.
With this distraction. Let me think, because it's a partial success, unless someone else wants to help him make it a full success.
But none of us know he's there.
That you
true.
don't.
No-
That's true. No
yeah.
one else knows, and Carl can't
Only-
roll. So
Only Carl.
yeah,
I'm doing this for me.
you're doing it for you. Okay.
Sometimes your jelly's got a jam. All right.
Yeah, I think okay. Yeah. So we'll say this. You are going to be in huge trouble. It goes as planned. Carl's kind of like yeets the jar. Oh no, I dropped my jelly. And it crashes into a tree. As described, you are just sliming down the tree in pain.
I'm kind of feigning injury though. I'm trying to make a scene,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, oh man, Professor, oh, I was so much pain.
Glop Sludgerton, I trusted you. I didn't even see you on a broom.
Oh man, I was too embarrassed to try the broom. I got nervous. I just hopped on Carl's broom. I'm so sorry. Now I hurt myself. Oh man, my goo's everywhere. Oh, my ooze is all over the tree.
We can take care of that. She's very peeved, but she is distracted for a moment.
I see that, and I just zoom towards the tree. I look at Stump and I say like, meet me over there, but like I get over there really quick.
Oh man, my ooze is everywhere. Can you help me scoop up some of the ooze and kind of put me back together here, Professor? I know it's a little embarrassing for me, but I need your help here.
Very well. You up there, Mr. One Eye, I need you to come down here. I need your help. Me? Listen, I didn't mean to drop him on the ground. I don't care what you did. Get down here. And so you come down. He comes down. Carl comes down. And Professor Beanabeth waves her wand, quick flourish of her hand, and all of you slurps off the tree at once and forms into a perfect sphere, which is floating around. Your hat and your bow tie are inside of it. It's really uncomfortable.
Oh man.
Yep.
I really messed up this time. I'm sorry, Professor.
You're just gonna say like a ball like this until I get some answers out of you, young man.
and I pull out the gunpowder and I start like playing with the potions, and I take some of the extra chamomile from the earlier potion, and I mix it with the gunpowder. I put some other like old twigs and some mystery liquids in it, and I take the little vial and I shake it up really fast.
Roll int for me because you're using your brain coming up with a cool new solution. You're fairly smart for a climber, so.
Wait, what? Oh, there it
Ooh,
is.
oh, big 5.
Big 5.
Do you want to take the failure, or do you want Stump to help you with this one?
Well, we kind of need this to work, so I need Stump to help me.
I can help him out. Meanwhile, Stump is kind of lagging behind. He, definitely saw when Trash Brood kind of zoomed off into the forest and started following him. I think Stump might also be kind of nonchalantly sneaky in the sense that ever since that tuft of air, he's been slowly losing altitude. And so he's slowly like floating or gliding back towards the ground, which might kind of obstruct some of the view, behind some trees and things. If you have a really good eye, you might be able to see his giant neck, just kind of disappearing into the trees. But he eventually does catch up to Trash Brood, and he's going to say, I made it. Let's see what we can do about this Feathered Serpent. Maybe I can help get that potion up there, using my neck.
All right. Sounds like you're using your physical prowess here to help. Roll strength for me, please.
Cool.
Stump.
Let's see. So we'll do strength.
Yes, sir. Oh, baby.
So,
That's good. All right. So your potion is successful. What kind of potion are you trying to create here?
so it's a mixture between a sleeping powder and gunpowder. So what it does is it makes a massive bang once it cracks open,
Yeah. Okay.
and then it releases sleeping powder. So it's gonna get the Feathered Serpent's attention. It's gonna go over and examine what's gonna happen, and then the sleeping powder will come over it and make it fall asleep.
So right now with this partial success that Stump has helped you with, this potion is as described, but it's going to have a side effect. It's either maybe going to be too explodey, not explodey enough, far too sleepy. One of these, something is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Just know that, but it's mostly going to work. It is what you
Yeah.
like the whole exploding sleep thing. It's going to do it's going to do both of those things. Just a matter of how much and if there's any other side things that happen on the way.
Yeah.
It's unstable, but you like it that way.
So as we approach the tree, I make eye contact with Stump and I say, okay. So I look at it, I make a motion that I'm gonna toss it up in the air, and he's gonna headbutt it into the tree to make it explodey. He's gonna like hit it like that, and it's gonna go straight up.
Okay.
And then into
Now
the
the tree again is where their nest is, right?
Yeah.
And the eggs. Okay, just checking. You're punting a sleep bomb into the nest, right? Is that what we're
Yes.
trying to?
Yes. Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan, Trash Brood. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna need to roll for the. I guess this would probably be Trash Brood. Well, Stump is helping, so maybe you guys both need to roll for this one.
Roll dexterity.
Dex for you and strength for you, Stump. Okay, Stump's bounce, perfect. No problems there. Trash Brood, you are throwing this potion, and this is going to be where the side effect comes into effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You toss it in. It bounces inside, and for a moment, you're afraid it's not going to do its thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this big hole. Imagine this big hole in this tree, big enough for a huge snake, dragon, bird to fly out of it, right? You throw it in, and then it goes off, and the explosion blasts out of that hole, that big hole, directly into you. It's this massive, like, explosion of wind that just, you're a tiny little guy. You're gonna have to hang on, or you knocked off your broom here. So you get to roll dex for me with disadvantage since you are in fact. I'm sorry, sir. You are blown off your broom. Little guy separated from his broom, and just like Bina Beth said, you lose your broom. You're gonna go boom. And you, my friend,
I'm
go boom.
falling to the ground.
Yep.
As Stump says, "Oh no, Trash Brood, you're breaking the rule."
Broke
Oh,
both the rules. Both of the rules.
Both of the rules.
How far away does the explosion take place from where
Close enough that everyone hears it nearby, including
Okay.
Professor Bean and Beth. We'll go back to that just real quick. You are still in a sphere, rotating slowly in the air.
Nice.
And Bina Beth has just been lecturing you, like, you know, she's pacing, but her broom is moving as she's pacing, so it's like up in the air pacing, and she's taking like big old steps with her knee-high boots. And that, Professor, that Mr. Globstudgerton, is why you don't fly in the trees. You don't have teeth, but trees still hurt, right?
I mean, not really, but I understand the principle.
Mr.
you're getting at.
Sludgerton.
Yeah, you're right.
And as you say, you're right. For off in the forest, you know, a bunch of birds fly out of the trees. Unibeth's head turns immediately. And she goes, "Trash Brood." Tells Carl, "Keep an eye on the sphere. Keep it spherical, okay? I'll be back in a moment." Bloody first years. Kicks off like a rocket through the woods to where the explosion went off.
And I'm falling to the ground. My face is all charred from the explosion.
Yep.
Well, did you also fall asleep?
Yeah, you're feeling you're feeling a little sleepy.
I'm like,
Oh, man. You're drowsy.
My
You're not
body-
gonna be able- you should not fly right now. So
my body is still somehow rotating in the air because I always land on my feet. And
Yep.
I hit the ground. Was that the 4 damage that I take?
yeah,
Is that
that
the
was what that
4?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
I hit the
sleepiness you had
ground
as well.
and I am just like I hit the ground on my feet and then I immediately just fall onto my stomach and I'm laying there like
Yeah, got the little birds flying around your head. It's, you know,
Yeah.
all- like in a cartoon, your face is all blackened out, and your whiskers are going like that. Yeah.
in the back of my head I'm like,
Yeah, did the explosion
That
get
was
him
awesome.
too?
Stump is okay. Somehow, I mean, I think Trash Brood would kind of probably was like trying to get a good angle so we could see his art at work here.
Yeah.
A little too close to it. So yeah, the explosion goes like
had
over your
just
head.
enough altitude where it he got a little bit of powder on his chest maybe, but
Yeah,
his face was clear because it was up high enough.
your hat's covered in soot. And almost before you can shake yourself off, as that smoke is pouring out of that hole, you hear this screeching cry, that like this weird, like this loud screeching bird noise. And out of that big hole flies a very, very upset and a little bit charred and blackened Feathered Serpent.
Oh,
it's supposed to be a little drowsy as well though.
It's a little drowsy. You can tell it's trying very hard to stay afloat here. But it was kind of a thing where it felt sleepy, and then an explosion went off in their face, and it happened in the wrong order. So she's very much, she's awake, maybe not as like, you know, insanely on berserker mode as she would be normally. She's maybe still a little drowsy and out of sorts.
A long way away. I look at Carl. I'm still in a sphere.
Yeah.
And we both hear the shriek, and I just go, bingo.
Those idiots found what they were looking for. Good thing we're over here, eh, Glop?
Oh yeah, just you and me, buddy. Hey, you think you could get me out of the sphere, maybe?
Yeah, just a sec. Pulls out his wand, waves it, turn into a cube. Oh, sorry. Didn't remember. Waves the wand again, turn into a pyramid. Waves the wand again. You're a dodecahedron. Oh, sorry, I keep messing it up. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
I'm just as annoyed as I am impressed with your knowledge of geometric shapes here, Carl.
Yeah, you got. I mean, when you're grabbing for a sugar cube or a piece of a gallium, you got to know which one's shaped like what, right? Speaking of shapes, whoop, and you pop from whatever geometric shape you're in at the moment. It was probably like a hypercube or something, and you fall to the ground, back in your regular amorphous form.
That is much better. I kind of straighten my bolo tie and I put my hat on and shove my wand back into my side. And I check for my harmonica. It's still there.
Still good. Didn't lose it. So do you think we should like help them or something? Because I think we should just go back to the dorms and just sit by the fire, relax a little bit, maybe see Prismane's show,
Carl, have you learned nothing about our group? We always help each other. Now, do you have any more jars?
Yeah, it's a little smaller though. A little bit smaller.
Works for me.
Yep. He puts you in a jar that has like a label still on it that reads baby powder. It's kind of like smells nice in there, but you're gonna come out a little bit dusty, I think. Like a jelly donut, when it comes out. And yeah.
I've never chafed before as I am an ooze, but I can certainly say I probably will not after this.
Yeah, so Trash Brood and Stump, this serpent flies out in a blind rage, not knowing who exactly to be mad at, but their nest exploded. You can see that their scales are singed. They were trying to protect their nests, their eggs. Stump, you are the only one still airborne over here. You gonna go in and see what you can find?
Stump, I think first he's gonna look down to where Trash Brood is, and he's gonna say, I don't think that potion worked out very well, Trash Brood. And he's gonna very easily fly down towards Trash Brood. He's gonna save him, because Trash Brood's down there. He crashed and burned, and he's looking all woozy. So Stump's gonna really easily fly down. It's hard to fly up, but he can fly down.
yeah.
Super easy. He's just gonna swoop on down, grab Trash Brood up real quick, and put him in his hat again. And then he's going to very slowly start flying back upwards toward the bird. And he looks over to Trash Brood. He's going to say, "You okay, buddy? What are we going to do about these eggs?"
You get the you got it, guy.
Yeah, all you remember, Stump, is that Carl told you that mockingworm eggs they try to blend in with the regular eggs, but they're a little bit bigger. So that's all he told you.
Okay.
And it sounds like Trash Brew needs to take a little breather. I have no ability to articulate words.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of moaning.
All right. So let's swoop up towards the eggs, and we're gonna try our best to avoid this large shrieking bird that's
it's flapping around outside the hole right now. Its whole body's out. It's kind of looking around for like, who did this, leaving the hole open for you guys to fly inside. So
yep. So is there any way that we can just swoop right in towards the hole? Maybe I can use my good old transmogrification spell to transform my wand into the good old trusty net again, and we'll see if we can swoop up some eggs.
Sweet. Let's roll with that. I think to fly it and cast this without falling off your broom is going to require Dex. So why don't you roll that for me?
All right. Let's do character sheet. Dex. Ooh.
Do you want to help, Trash Brood?
Yeah.
You are sleepy.
Do you want my help?
Do you want to help?
Yeah,
or do you want to take the failure?
You're looking pretty sleepy there, Trash Brood, but I could really use some help here, buddy.
I like shake myself awake because I realize that we're about to fly into a nest of an angry serpent, feathered serpent. So I'm kind of rallying here. What do you need me to roll, Dex?
Yeah, just to snap out of it. A partial. So yeah, you can bump up to a partial success. What that means is that you're able to turn your wand with your transmogrification into a net. And you get into the smoke of the tree, and you spot one egg that stands out about all the others. It's like just a bit taller. These eggs are really big. They're maybe, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall. These big old eggs, right? Big babies. This one's like a little like maybe 2 feet tall. It looks exactly the same color, almost exactly the same pattern, but it does stand out from the rest. So
I yell, it's that one over there. It's the big one. Can't you see it?
Stump goes, yeah. I think I see it. I'm gonna try to snag that one up. And you see his magic wand quickly transform into a small net. It's not a big net because he couldn't get the whole spell going onto it, but he very quickly just reaches into the hole and tries to scoop up the egg. I don't know if he gets just the egg or if maybe it's with the mess of eggs, but
I got your partial here. So you managed to pick up the egg. It's a lot heavier than you expected it to be. Like it's really densely packed or something.
I think it's Stump that's grabbing it, eh?
Yeah, good thing. You're able to keep because I'm not gonna make you roll because you're a strong guy. You already rolled for the net thing. It's kind of requiring a lot of your strength to pull this thing out. And as you're doing this, you notice that you kind of are trying to fly as fast as you can out of the hole in the tree, right? Avoiding the feathered serpent mother again. When all of a sudden you hear a little like knocking coming from the egg in the net. And when you turn, you see a little hand. It's a little white gloved hand with nothing behind it, just a hand. And it's going tick, 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 tick on the side of the egg in like a rhythmic pattern. The hand kind of turns and almost like looks at you and then flourishes away like with a flick of its wrist. It's gone. But that egg now is wiggling around. It's moving. And you can see that it's not actually hatching. No, this thing is unfurling. You see, because this eggshell is actually the outside of its body and it's curled up. And I have a picture I can show you just for visual demonstration.
This is wild.
Yeah.
Stump is officially freaking out as he's like kind of seeing this egg crack open out of the corner of his eye, trying to focus on flying the broom at the same time.
So the egg unfurls and it's in like a ring, and it's like this long centipede insectoid dragon thingy. And you hear it clacks its jaws at you, Stump. Now we're getting to about time. Do you want to go a few more minutes here and see what happens, or should this be our stopping point?
Oh man.
I'm down to go a few more minutes if you guys are, but totally up to y'all.
You want to go like 10 more minutes? Is that how much you think we would need to get to like the resolution of this particular situation?
Maybe. At least
We can
go for minutes.
go for.
Let's go 10 more minutes. Let's go to
sure.
105 our time.
I like it.
Now,
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are Carl and Glop, are they close to the situation?
They
at
are.
this
I mean,
point?
you can see the flailing serpents now.
Okay.
And I think as the only thing moving in its general vision, it locks its still drowsy eyes on Carl's broom.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Meanwhile,
go
you can see coming out of the smoke, Stump with Trash Brood in his hat, holding in his net. Looks like an egg unfurling into this thing I just showed you.
Oh boy. And I look like I'm riding a roller coaster in Stump's hat because my hands are up in the air. I'm like, I like no control.
It's this more mocking worm in your net, Stump. It is aware it's in a net, but aware that you also look delicious and you're holding it. So it begins to snap its jaws, flailing in your direction. Again, this is a big old thing. It's, when curled up, it's like, good 2 feet tall. So it's pretty long. It's pretty good size creature. And also you're on a broom trying to stay aloft with a friend in your hat. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Oh man.
What
A lot to unpack on this turn here. Yeah. So, Stump definitely doesn't want to get bit. So, the first priority here, I think, obviously while trying to stay in the air flying. I'm losing altitude like crazy right now, by the way. That's definitely a thing. We're going down fast. Stump's also super concerned about Trash Brood in his hat. He's just constantly trying to reassure him over and over again. It's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it out of this. And meanwhile, he's going to try to channel the love of his cousin Twig, and realize that it would probably be a little inappropriate to just punch this creature right out of its net while they're 30 feet up in the air, whatever it is. So he's going to try to use unbowed, unbent, and unbroken of his skills to try to just endure the hardship without fighting back. So I think what this looks like for Stump right now is he's going to use his super buff neck to just kind of turn sideways a little bit while he's flying, and he's just going to let this thing just bite him right in the muscle, and he's gonna try to take it, just
flex his throat,
try to endure it. And his main goal is just to make sure that Trash Brood doesn't get bit, and maybe it'll allow Trash Brood to regain some of his energy so that Stump can help get them through this safely.
Very good. Roll strength, please. Giant burly giraffe.
Not the best.
Okay. Yeah, I think what this means, you flex your neck, you do as you described, but it's little bitey mandibles. What are those? Anyway, it's clacking. It's biting on you. So we're gonna take some damage, Mr. Stump. Roll for that. You take 5 HP and damage.
Ooh, dang.
Chomp, because it's right on the neck. It's kind of a sensitive spot. I realized too, audience, I peeked over at the window I'm streaming, and I was blocking the images of the monsters completely. So
there they are.
So the top one is the Feathered Serpent. The bottom one's the Mocking Worm, and what it looks like when it's still an egg. Now we all are in the same imaginary place. Let's continue. Let's pop over to Glop and Carl. Like I said, the big Feathered Serpent is barreling towards you, mouth wide open, the bird cry echoing through your body. Glop.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What
do you do, my man?
Well, I kind of panic a little bit. And I remember that the Feathered Serpent is easily distracted or what enamored, we'll say, with shiny objects.
Yes.
So can I cast I can't say it.
Prestidigitation?
Yeah, can I do as it's charging towards us, can I basically do the equivalent of like a sun flare or
like
a
boom,
lens flare?
like a flashbang thing, right?
Yeah, like a flashbang kind of in its face to sort of
to dazzle it.
The fireball that Professor Pang was talking about earlier.
Kind of like that. It explodes, right?
I could do
So
that.
yeah,
Exactly.
roll for int for rolling your magic, since you're using
Okay.
your knowledge and tactics here. Okay, not bad. I think with this, when you roll magic and you get a partial success, you have a list of things to pick from. So you can, I'll just copy and paste it here. There we go. So you can either draw and welcome attention to yourself or put yourself in the spot. It takes more effort than expected, except for 1d6 HP damage, or you take -1 ongoing to the stat you rolled until you can clear your head.
I guess I can.
I have an idea for the first one. If you don't,
Yeah, we're already kind of drawing a lot of attention. I mean,
yeah, it wouldn't be. What's a little bit more, right?
yeah, I think at this point, cat's out of the bag. All right, let's draw some more unwelcome attention.
All right, roll your magic dice, please.
Okay.
So you can see how flashy this is. Pretty flashy. It's like a flashbang. Very bright. You see the eyes of the serpent, get all narrow, and then it blinks, and it's kind of like flapping around, all out of sorts now. Feathers going everywhere.
Right.
You definitely knocked it out of the fight for a few minutes here, but You didn't tell Carl to blink. You see, his one big eye also gets the pupil dilate real small.
Oh boy.
And he goes, "Oh my God." And he kind of rears back and he falls off the broom, leaving Glop on his own on the broom.
Carl, no.
In a vial.
In a vial.
Yeah.
But Glop, this is your chance to show you can fly a broom. Finally.
You can do it,
I-
Glop.
yeah. So because I don't really have eyes, I'm not really affected by this flashbang,
Not at all.
but I can see what happened to Carl.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm left alone on this broom in a vial. Is there a top on the vial? Am I able to get out of it?
It's just an
at
opener.
will?
It's just an open
Okay.
jar of baby powder. Yeah, the cork's not in it
Right.
or anything. So
I leak myself out of the vial. So I'm at least kind of on the broom as much as I can.
yeah.
And despite the fact that I have no idea how to fly a broom, my friendship and my care of Carl, it flashes into my ooze brain, and
Mhm.
all the times he helped me, and him helping me get on the broom. I look at the Feathered Serpent, and I don't even care anymore about if it's done.
Oh,
I got to
man.
save Carl from hitting the ground. So I just plummet down, straight down to the to the earth, and then I kind of whisper to myself, and I go, just like rain, baby, and I'm flying, careening down towards the earth, towards Kyle, or towards Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
I'm
Wanna catch
trying
him.
to do a maneuver where I kind of scoop him up.
Now it's going to be a dex roll, but it was a very beautiful description. So you can roll with advantage on that one.
All right. Come on.
Oh, full success. Yeah.
Let's go.
As described. Glop,
I'm coming for you, Carl.
you catch him on the broom. He lands. He's, oh, thanks, kid. And he
Just
kind
like
of,
rain.
do you notice this
And
happening? Like he's like, Puddle, you did it. You're flying. Look
I'm
at you.
flying, Carl. I'm flying. Yoo-hoo. And I have like I'd get like a little spur kick to the broom as if it's like a horse or something, but I don't actually have boots on or anything. But I reconnect with my southern ooze roots.
Yeehaw.
Stump has a
Yeah.
creature attached to his neck right now, but he's chanting, glove, glove,
glove,
glove, glove.
Yeah. Trash Bird has one single tear
It's
crawl
beautiful.
down his face.
All right. So Stump's getting chewed on. Glop just had a really uplifting sports movie moment. What are you doing, Trash Brood? With that single
I'm
tear,
coming back
what are you-
to
coming back to. Okay.
the inspiration of seeing my friend like overcoming all odds really kind of spurred me awake, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do you want to do with that newfound vigor, that the inspiration that lifted you up?
I still have some chamomile from earlier, and I lob a sleep potion at the at the worm munching on Stump's neck. I say no more munching.
No more munching. Roll dex, please. So remember, you need this thing's part of its eggshell, part of its outside.
That's why I use a sleep potion.
You want to knock it out for a minute so you can chip a piece
Yeah.
off, right? Yeah. Okay. Your aim is true here. But very similarly, Stump, you're gonna get a little sleepy as well from this throw.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So the thing lets go of your. I mean, he threw it at your like neck. It's like right there, right? This chamomile potion. It smells really good. Explodes next to you. The mocking worm loosens its bite. Begins to drift out of the sky toward the ground. It has its own kind of like levitation abilities, but it can make it sleepy. And you too, Stump, are now feel your eyelids get really heavy. Really heavy. What are you gonna do?
Do I have to jump to action? Do I? Because I'm the best flyer here. So even though Stump is much larger than I am, I can jump to the front of the broom and kind of like steer our landing. We're still gonna fall. It's very Captain Phillips, not Captain Phillips. What's the other one?
Sully.
Sully?
Sully. Yeah, same
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
It's very Sully in the sense that I wanted to control chaos here, but we're still
I
following.
think you're actually thinking of Flight.
Oh
Or
yeah,
Flight.
yeah. Denzel Washington, right?
Yeah, Denzel. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to give that a shot because as this potion hits Stump, first he's super appreciative. He's like, oh, thank you so much, Trash Bird. I needed that. And then he starts getting kind of tired. Let's keep flying through the forest, and he starts falling asleep. And then so you're gonna have to take over.
How far away are Carl and Glop?
They're pretty close actually, because you were just coming into the scene and they were trying to fly out of it, right?
Yeah.
So
And we're cleared from the serpent, right? Serpent.
for now, the serpent's still blinkered by the flashbang. Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're kind of under them at this point, right? We're lower to the ground.
Yeah.
There. Okay. And do Carl and I have a good understanding of like, do we see the potion go off?
Yeah. You see the one. You weren't expecting to see a mocking worm. Like, you've never seen one before. Okay. Carl was clearly freaked out by it. He probably just knows the ingredient, not the creature necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, the poof of chamomile. You see Stump start to drift onto the ground.
Okay. I'm still riding the high for my big 80s sports moment. And I turn to Carl and I go, looks like that guy needs another broom.
Yeah.
And, well, I should say it. I go, hey, Carl, looks like that guy needs another broom, doesn't it? Kind of tongue in cheek, because Carl said it earlier.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
I steer the broom to kind of come like fly up under under Stump. So he's kind of sitting on it. And now we're all sharing two brooms that are kind of flying all towards the I guess the platform, the brooms course platform, to kind of like level it out. It's almost like when two airplanes meet in the air or something. It's like one of those situations. I'm kind of like doing some really, some really technical flying, and I'm trying to catch them as they start to descend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll dex for me, please.
Oh boy.
If you want Carl to help you, I'll let you roll with advantage here. It's helping your balance.
Glop, 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 glop.
I just don't want Carl's help. I want Carl's help.
Okay, he'll help you with the balance because you're still
right.
just roll dex with advantage.
Oh no. Really bad.
It's a 3. It's a 3. And you don't really have anyone you can accept help from right now. Let's Trash Brews on the ground, right?
Yeah. Well, I was on the other.
I thought Trash was still in the broom.
Because I was in the broom. I was trying to control the failure.
Oh, that's right. You got back on the broom and got back up there, right? So you were knocked off before. Yeah.
And then Glop was like, "We're gonna make sure this doesn't crash at all." He was trying to stop the crash from stopping.
Yeah,
it.
I was trying to like have a safe landing with the two brooms, the egg, Carl, everyone.
Okay. So if anything, he was doing a saving throw for my partial success in the dexterity.
Or we could have Stump help if he's kind of like, and it realizes he's going down and does something too. So it could be either one of you guys who want to help.
I feel bad because I just rolled dexterity, so I feel like it'd be cheating.
Let's see Stump try to right the ship here.
Let's see. What can Stump do? So Stump is still awake. He's a little drowsy. But I guess he can try to do his prestige spread.
His little wind blast.
Right? I can't say that one. What is that?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
It's where the word presto comes from.
Nice.
You can say presto from now on if you want. If it's easier to say, I'll do presto.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do my presto spell again. And we'll try to do that little tuft there.
Let's
yet
do
again.
it.
See if we can wake up, get a little bit more energy, kind of help keep this giant broom vehicle flying on the right track.
Yeah, roll dex for me as you're trying to do this carefully.
Let's see. And we have dex.
Hey, look at that. Poof. And if you have presto, the wind rises underneath you, Glop. And now you all three of you or I guess Trash Brood's still nearby, right? You rejoin the group, Trash Brood?
I'm still on the broom.
Right. You all gather together and Stump is at the ground. You had a beautiful moment. but you still don't have the eggshell that you need.
Because
Oh,
we dropped it and
sorry.
hit the ground.
It's floating down to the ground.
Can
It's
I
kind of
run and
like
try to catch it?
Try to catch the creature. Sure.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like the end of the game, and I'm like running and I'm like diving to catch the egg.
Get the egg creature. Yep. Go ahead. Roll dex for me.
And
A lot of dex rolls because a lot of brooms are. There you go.
Ooh, nice.
He gets his movie moment. Catches the sleepy mocking worm, just now kind of curling back more into that egg shape, kind of going in on itself as it's going back to sleep.
I catch it like this, and then I roll. So I slide on my back on the ground, and then then everyone looks at me. There's a big like a pile of dust around me, and no one can see what happened. And then I hold the egg above my head with one hand, and I go, I caught it. I really did it.
We'll wake up. Are you taking the whole thing with you, or just going to break off a chunk of its outside?
Well, we have to ask Carl how much we need because he's the ingredients expert. That's why he's here.
Yeah. You just need to take a shot. Don't take the whole thing. Just a piece of it. Maybe about yay big.
You know, this thing's pretty dangerous. Should we just leave it here?
It'll find another nest.
But
Find
do we want
another.
it to?
The real thing about mocking worms is they can kind of change their shape, their size as well. They can fit into most nests of a certain size.
All right. So seems kind of irresponsible. We
I
can just leave it
feel
here.
a little bad.
It is an invasive species. This is true.
What do you want to keep it in your shop so you can have unlimited mockingworm egg shell?
That's an idea.
And
Just a
you can
matter of
farm it?
keeping it contained is the issue.
You're not really known to keep things contained very well.
You're right. I'm not. My
You think
reputation's
Professor Ooze
tarnished.
could keep it?
I mean, Carl, based on the demand for this particular ingredient, I think you could start a whole nother store and kind of have a bit of a monopoly on these, as long as you keep them contained, controlled in a responsible manner. What do you think?
Shudder's looking at the sleeping mocking worm in your arms, Trash Brood. You know that thing. You know, I love like clingers, beautiful creatures, most beautiful creature in all the world. But I look at that thing and I feel sick. That said, a good side effect of that sickness is a lot of money. So
That does heal all, doesn't it, Carl?
well, let's get back before this serpent figures out what's up. We'll just sneak back to school, make the antidote, and I can go home.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Well, I'm glad
Huzzah.
all's well that ends well, right? And then you hear this super loud whistle, like someone's blowing a whistle at you guys. And above, you see Bina Beth, little hands on her hips, tapping her foot on the broom. The three students with an illegal creature, exploding natural wildlife. We're gonna start next week with you guys in trouble with the professors. The cool and fun professor at that. Oh my gosh.
Seriously.
All
I
right.
betrayed her.
You did a little bit. That's the end of the session. Let's do our end of session questions before we wrap up for today.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. End of session questions. First, let's look at your goals. If you work toward your short-term goal, you can mark an experience point. If you work toward your long-term goal, mark an experience point as well. Judging from your various goals, I'm not sure if everyone worked toward them today specifically. Let me check.
I learned a lot about becoming a brewologist today. I
think Trash Brood would count. Stump, I think, would count. You did some fancy flying and did some spells to help him fly. Twig would be impressed. Now, Glop, do you think any of this worked you towards being?
No, I don't. I didn't even get to. I literally bought a harmonica for the session. I didn't play it one time, but I will. I will soon. I thought about playing it when I was in the sphere.
That would have been fun.
Felt a little forced.
You're saving it for the
I
right
was-
moment, right?
I was in prison or something, but I'm gonna wait.
Well, you might be next time if you're in detention. So
Exactly. That's true. So no, I did not. I built a little bit of rapport with Professor Pang, but
You
that's
did.
about it.
You did. And Carl.
And Carl.
Okay, I'll let you. I mean, you guys,
I
you are
don't-
doing this quest so that Professor Ooze can get you a place in the talent show. If you remember,
That's
that was
true.
the reward you asked for him, was to help you.
That
help you
was that's
get
true.
the talent show.
That's true. It's I'll take the experience point, but
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I feel nice. Everyone gets two for those. As for questions, crap, I just had them pulled up. Do we learn something new and important about the world or its people?
Oh yeah.
What did you learn?
Learned about what a mocking worm actually looks like.
Mhm.
We learned how to calm down a feathered serpent.
Yeah.
We learned a lot from both Professor Pang and from Professor Beanabe. Beanabe. I don't know how to say that.
Being a best,
And then I would say I learned a lot about falling today.
and how to pick yourself up again, Master Bruce.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah, we learned that the Mystic Thicket is a very dangerous place, or whatever it's
should-
called, Mystic Forest.
Mystic Thicket. Probably shouldn't have kids back here, but
Yeah.
use what you got.
We learned about what that worm thing looks like. We thought it was inside the egg, but it actually was just impersonating an egg.
It was the egg.
It was, yeah.
I get the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it.
Also, are we going to talk about the fact that a hand came out of nowhere
Help
Yeah,
knock
whose
it
hand
open.
was that?
and knocked it open?
You guys have seen things like that. There's a
I mean,
little
it's
little
definitely-
little gloved white hand.
It's definitely Prismane, right?
Oh,
It's just like one of his gloves.
It's
Yeah.
got to be Prismane. It's not
Prismane is up to no good, but also omnipresent.
But
somehow.
but the only person that saw that was Stump.
Yeah, some would have
Right.
seen that weird little glove.
Yeah.
Convinced the mocking worm to wake up.
Yeah.
Had
You
to have a
know,
moment.
one thing about Stump too that kind of started in the last session is he has a thing for those hands for some reason. Like when he first saw them on Prismane, he was like mesmerized. He was like, oh, like I wonder how many weights he can lift at once with all those
Yeah.
hands, you know. And so like that might be kind of becoming a new side goal for Stump these days, is
Oh.
figuring out how he can learn a spell like that to get 2 extra magical hands, because
Yeah, for sure.
that would definitely impress Twig if he just all of a sudden came in lifting like 4 weights at once, you
Yeah.
know.
Imagine the reps you can get done with 4 hands. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. So you know, when he saw that on the egg, it was definitely a little weird, but he was stoked by it. He's intrigued.
He's intrigued. All right, I like that. We can definitely work with that for sure. And last question: do we grow closer as a team?
Oh yeah. I really grew to start trusting Glop a lot more. Because before that I thought he just like made me slip, and he was the reason I was like falling and becoming a klutz in front of everyone's eyes. It was all Glop's fault. But Glop really kind of like came in clutch with the guided landing, as well as sacrificing his own like pride and ego to go against the tree so that we could all create a distraction, because usually I'm the one who's made a fool, but he allowed himself to be made a fool. And that means a lot to me.
Lovely.
Love that. You know, obviously, a little side story developed with Carl and I
Mhm.
this session. I feel like I really, I think the first 15 minutes of the campaign, we forgot he was
That
even with
Carl was
us.
there. That's how little effect he was. He's trying to not. He's just trying to
That's
blend
true.
in the background, right? He's trying to. I'll just back up. It's fine. I don't
Yeah.
need to be here. Yeah.
But I ended up really having a moment with Carl, a few moments. Carl, you know, covered for me when I was too embarrassed to try and hop on a broom. And, you know, I saved Carl from smacking against the ground.
And after he turned you into a bunch of shapes. So
That's
I think
true.
that you know.
That's true. Yeah, he was kind of messing around with me, but I always knew Carl was a good-hearted fella, and it felt good to kind of tease that out a little bit.
You feel like you're justified dragging him along on this now.
Oh yeah, and he gets the egg, or he gets the whatever it's called,
The shell. Yeah.
shell. So he can. That's kind of his like payment. So he like genuinely helped us. He can go start a new business or whatever. Since we kind of destroyed his old one.
A little bit. You might need to rebrand a little bit.
Yeah. So that felt good. I don't know if that matters, but
It does. It feels great. Yeah. I like
It's
the thought.
It's a bond.
Absolutely. If you want to start a bond with Carl, you can do that.
I do.
Yep. You can add a bond to your sheet, and adding that you can get experience for it in the future. So that's cool. Last one, did we overcome a notable threat?
Oh,
I'd say, yeah. You used your smarts and first year pluck to get away from a feathered serpent, but not your teachers.
No, definitely burned a bridge with
Yeah.
being a Beth. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But it had to be done.
All right. So that's 2 XP from the goals and then 3 XP from the questions. So everyone should get 5 today. If you're counting failures, I think the only one who had to keep a failure was it Glop?
It was it was Glop because he couldn't let his he tried to do something and he failed, but no one knew he was there. So he couldn't
Yeah.
Steve helped.
I think Stump might have as well.
Yeah, I took damage
When
from
you got bit on the throat. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I'm just gonna need some rest soon. He's actually at 3 HP. at the
oh
moment.
gosh, you should drink a health
yeah.
potion or something. Yeah. Well, you'll have some time to rest in detention next week.
Good plan.
Yep. So yeah, so John and Kyle, you guys can take, or sorry, Nick Glop had the one he failed at, so it'd be so Glop and Stump get XP, 1 extra point. So again, if you leveled up, you can do that at any point, taking 2 more hit points, upping your magic dice to the next size of dice, adding +2 to a stat, at a maximum of 18 in a stat, or take a new move or perk. We can do that later if you guys want to do that later, or figure out beginning of the next session before we get on or something.
Yeah, I leveled up last session, so I didn't level up this one.
Yeah, I got to level 3 this session, and I made my D8 a D10.
Wow, you guys are really
Nice.
learning magics.
I really want my magic to be
Real good.
strong. So
Yeah, I'm at level 3 now. I hit level 3 at the end of the last session, actually, and didn't level up this one, but I haven't taken any new moves yet. I still need to do that. I was planning to look through the magic spells and see what kind of new spells Stump might be able to learn, kind of align with his quest. We'll see what's there for him.
Yeah, I believe that actually I do have a spell in there that is called Helping Hand,
Ooh.
where it's an invisible hand that can like do things with your strength, but it's just the one hand. But
That's a start.
it's a start.
I'll look into
It's
it.
kind of a ghost hand, is what it is. So,
Yeah,
Gathering more hands.
love it.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thanks for playing. Thanks for watching, people on the live stream. Do we have a question for them this week, guys?
We were asking who everyone's favorite character was so far. Let's just go with that.
Okay.
Because we have a ton of characters now. So yeah, if you are watching,
what if we ask who's your favorite professor?
yeah, who's your favorite professor?
So so far we've seen Professor Ooze, we've seen Professor Pang, we've seen Professor Bina Beth.
And we've seen the headmaster too. I think the headmaster kind of counts, but
He's currently a mouse right now.
Maybe you like that.
Maybe you like that. Yeah,
Drop it in the chat if you're watching this later, especially on
favorite character,
YouTube,
or
you can
just any
also-
character.
That's true. Maybe any NPC. I think might be.
There's a lot of NPCs. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much anyone except for.
Oh, I do have.
Snipe,
I did
Ashburn.
draw another NPC. I need to show you guys real fast. You guys
Ooh.
talked a gondola worker to take him to the school. His name
Oh,
is
yeah.
Sperry.
Oh, that's right.
That's
He's
right.
Chris May's
yeah.
biggest fan, and I decided that he's an alpaca.
I love it.
I love the acne.
Yeah, it's like
it's alpacne.
Oh,
Nice.
there
Wow.
it is. That's so good.
That's exactly like how I was picturing him too. When you were like role playing him in the last
Yeah.
session, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Got his hair in his eyes. Anyway, that's so Sperry. Sperry's at the top of your list. You let us know.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Well, I actually don't think. that paid. Did it share in the live stream? Did everyone see it?
You ever see Sperry? Sperry's up, isn't she?
Oh, there it is.
It's not,
Now it's on.
I don't see it on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't see it on the live stream yet.
I think the live stream might be a little behind. Is that what it is? Just a little delayed.
Oh,
Oh, there he is. Yeah, he
is.
just popped up on Facebook.
There we go.
There's
That's
Sperry.
Sperry, everybody.
Sperry, the gondola operator, part-time.
Part-time.
Or whatever. Because it's
It's his part-time job, you know.
The alpaca raider, dude.
Yeah.
nice. An alpaca raider. With some alpaca.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
we will see you on Friday for Free Journal Friday if that is something that you're into.
Yes.
But next week, what will happen? Who knows? Ryan probably does, but we don't.
I do.
One
Well,
more
I
plug.
can-
One more plug.
All right, one more plug.
Sorry. I was just going to say, if you joined in the middle of this or you're watching this later and you have no idea what's going on, we are doing about 5 weeks of this IMA, that's the Astoria Magic Academy RPG role-playing game that Ryan, our incredible artist, is now also acting as our game master as he's kind of taking us through this world. That storyline is contained in our newest journal, the Potions Purple Story Magic Academy Heroes Journal. That is coming out on February 2nd. The first people that sign up for SMS will get a discounted price. So make sure and check that out. You should have an email if you're on our email list. So yeah, that's what this is all for. We're leading towards this Potions Purple release.
Buy it. It'll be cool. It's purple.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
New
So
box,
we
new
got
bookmark.
we have 2 more sessions of this, right? Next week
Mhm.
after?
I think we have
2 more.
2 more.
Because this is session 3, right? 2 more
Yeah,
weeks.
so we'll have one because then we have one on the 1st of February. as well.
31st of January. And then there's a day,
Oh,
and then there's lunch.
I see. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So 31st is the last session.
All right. So yeah, tune in next
Wait.
week. See what happens.
The plot is thickening.
It's almost as thick as glop. Nice consistency.
All
Yeehaw.
right, everyone.
All right, bye everybody.
Happy
Bye,
questing, everyone.